Hey guys, Damian Lewis with Prep Sports Nation here with the PSN Spotlight on the Lithia Springs Lions football team as they get ready to kick off their season on Friday when they take on the Lithia Bulldogs. And we got a chance to stop by practice and catch up with head coach Corey Jarvis, who says this year's message is discipline over detail 24/7. All right, Coach, welcome to another season, man. Just talk about for you, all these years in, is the feeling still the same for you? Obviously you've had time with the guys from spring through summer, but the actual kickoff to the season, is that feeling still the same for you from when you first started, to now?
It definitely is. Like I was telling a couple of coaches today, I didn't even sleep last night. Really, I think I went to sleep about. Well, they say I don't go to sleep anyway, but I went to sleep last night about 1:30, and I ended up waking up about 3:00, and my mind was like racing. Because I'm thinking about games. I'm thinking about the season. I'm ready to get it started. Kids are worked real hard. And, last week was a good showing. We went against a tough D.C. Douglas County team in scrimmage, and our kids actually played pretty well. We got some things that we need to work on to show up. But, just excitement always. I think I still feel like that 23 or 22, wherever I was when I first started coaching, running out there, coaching them kids and, running around. And, I can't run around anymore, but I still do what I can do. But, I still feel that excitement every year.
All right. And this summer, what was it about your guys that, you really liked? What stood out to you the most as far as, their work ethic, all that they were doing this summer, as you guys started preparing for the season?
Well, the funny thing about it is, our kids, we only have about, right now we got 62, I believe that's on the roster, but through the off season and the summer, we only worked out with about 44 kids. And, this is probably the smallest team we've had since I've been here. But the crazy thing about it is, and good thing about it is, probably the hardest working team that I've had since I've been here too. Since November, I believe 9th, and whenever we lost our last game of the year, kids have been busting their tail to try to get that energy level and get that feeling of going back to the playoffs back up. First time in 5 years that we didn't make it to the playoffs, and the kids were kind of disappointed. We had an opportunity in 2 ball games and blew them to get to the playoffs, and so that it left a bad taste in their mouth. And our kids definitely wasn't satisfied, and now they're at that stage where they're ready to get going. I know it's a new region, new with reclassification and all that, but our kids are just ready to get it going. And I think just from the summer, from November to the summer, and right now through the camp and through the scrimmage, our kids have really truly shown some remarkable work ethic, just kids who were just committed to the program. Just proud of them.
And I was going to ask you about that because for you, I want to say on paper last year may have been, probably the downest year since you've taken over the program. But as you watched your guys, because I think you guys still closed out with the win over Mays, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
What do you feel like they learned about that adversity that they dealt with last season?
I feel like our kids, they learned from their mistakes. We had a senior class, I love them, but they weren't a great leadership class. They were, decent football players and great kids, but as far as leadership standards, they were not up to the standards that we had set in the program. This class has more leaders, but also has kids who kind of saw that and was like, that's not the way it should be done. And so we had a lot of them come to me at the end of the season to try to make some changes, and they've done that so far. I want to know, to see our kids just get a chance to go through some more adversity, to see if we're going to be able to still handle the adversity and go through it and stay the same way and be, a better football team and football program this year.
All right. This summer, what's kind of been your message to the guys? Has there been a Coach Jarvis, whether it be a slogan, whatever the case may be, has there been, something that you've really been trying to hammer home with them this summer?
Well, our thing has been, 24/7, and it's been discipline over details. A lot of people who know me know I'm very detail oriented. I think we don't leave any stone unturned. We really cover everything, every basis of the game. But I think last year we were real undisciplined, and that showed on the field, because we did things that was uncharacteristic of our team and our program. This year we preach discipline over detail, and we preach being 24/7 student athletes. Our kids we went to LCA, and it was just ironic that LCA slogan or motto this year was 24/7. And our kid was just laughing. They were like, "Coach, did you know that?" I was like, "No, I didn't know that. I really didn't." And we spoke at our first team huddle at LCA, and like I asked our team chaplain, Pastor James, to talk about it, and he was like, "Yeah, Coach, it is 24/7." And I seen you been putting that out there, and I'm like, "Yeah, discipline over detail, 24/7, DOD, and 24/7." So that's been our motto and slogan this year.
All right. For those that don't know, you're very active, not just with your guys, but also with the flag football team. Talk about why it's important for you to kind of, be, I don't want to say hands-on like that, but I mean, you are pretty much hands-on with those young ladies, and they've gotten 2 region championships, state chat title. Just talk about being involved with those young ladies as well.
The funny thing about it, I asked Coach Pleasance, I believe 4 years ago when the program started, if she would be the head coach, and she did it. Kind of reluctantly at first, but she did it, and I told her I would help her out as much as I could, and just to watch those young ladies, because a lot of I think about the first year, about 4 of them were track girls, and I coach track, so it was like, okay, it's a no-brainer. I'm a football coach, and I coach track, and I coach them in track.
Right.
Let me go out there and help out, and coach. It's kind of like she's been picking my brain for 3 and 4 years, and I'm still hands-on, but not as much hands-on because she does an outstanding job with the program. But it's fun because like I tell people all the time, when it comes down to football, because football's been played all these years, daddies, uncles don't play football, and now so they kind of have put stuff in their boys' heads. So when they go out, and it's like I have to retrain them sometime. But with the girls, it's like molding clay. And I tell everybody, it's like if they're sponges, and they seriously take coaching, they seriously take like technique and all the little things that we try to teach them, and they've done an outstanding job. And it shows because of what they do on what they have done rather on the field for the past 4 years.
All right, and I got to ask, from that track coaching, that track standpoint, when I was in high school, I remember our head coach for football was the head coach for track. You wanted to play football, you had to run track. Like, it wasn't the option. If you was a lineman, go throw something. I don't want to say is that your motto, but do you kind of like really urge your guys, like, look, you probably should take advantage of being on this track team?
And we do, because football is power and speed. That's been the name of the game since we played. And just to sit there and watch our kids go through the weight room, go through strength and conditioning, and then the easiest way, like I tell them, Coach, how can I get fast? Go out there and run fast. That's been the answer for however many years.
Right.
And to go out there and run track and get technique, the technical starts, and from drive phase to extension. Well, I'm like, it's different things that we work on in track that we don't get a chance to work in the weight room because we only have 90 minutes.
Right.
And, of course, we do it during the summer, but during the season, or out of season rather, from November till May, we don't get a chance to do it. But if you're running track, you do it every day.
Right.
So to me, it's very important. And our kids, they know that. I think if we had those 44 kids I talked about, probably out of 44, you had about 35 of them that was on the track team. I think we had 55 boys this year. So the majority of them get it.
All right, last one before I let you go. The wins and losses start to count on Friday. What are going to be the keys to a successful season for the Lions?
Develop depth. Like, that's what we've been trying to do, especially the past 2 weeks. We've really have working on our twos and getting our JV kids ready, because that's our next level. And we're only good as they are. And then the next thing would be just, staying healthy, but also just, like I said, being disciplined. We've done some good things, but we can do some things a little better. And I hope that, as the season progresses, we'll just progressively get good each year, or each week, rather.
Awesome. Well, Coach, thanks for a couple of minutes, man, and looking forward to seeing you all in action this year.
I appreciate it.
All right, thanks to Coach Jarvis and the Lithia Springs Lions for allowing us to stop by and being a part of this PSN Spotlight. Looking forward to seeing them in action when their season kicks off on Friday when they take on Lithonia. For these stories and more, make sure you check us out at PrepSportsNation.net. Don't forget to check out our YouTube highlight channel, Prep Sports Nation. I'm Damian Lewis with Prep Sports Nation.